Okay, first up on the show, we have deep tech focused venture capital firm, and that is Growx Ventures. They have launched a fund too with a target corpus at 400 crore rupees. Joining in is Ashish Taneja. He's the founder and CEO at Growx Ventures. Thank you so much for taking time out. So let's talk a little bit about what the outlook is, because you're looking at investing in startups across sectors like semiconductors, there's defense technology, space technology. Tell us more.
Well, I think, Avan, first of all, thank you very much for having me over. I think the biggest thing is, we've been actively investing in India for the last 12 years. Yeah. So we've got a body of work. We worked with 50 plus founding teams, and, that experience is what builds conviction. We've seen the needle moving in India. We've seen the quality of entrepreneurship far, far superior than what it used to be. Yeah. The quality of ideas more unique, more novel, and which kind of takes India to the global shape, right? Riding on that particular experience, we believe there are several other opportunities which the next decade or two will unveil, and we're excited to participate within that. What we're most excited about is backing entrepreneurs in the early stages of business, specifically around deep technology areas. Yeah, so within deep tech, you can think of, like you said, space tech. That's an area of choice. We have 2 portfolio companies already in that particular area. We'd like to add more. Semiconductors, cybersecurity, life sciences, biotech. That's an area of interest, and a bunch of other emerging themes. We see opportunities within defense tech. We see opportunities within alternate materials, and the whole idea is to kind of find innovative, disruptive themes coming out of India where which can be taken out to the globe. Use India as a base to kind of cater to the globe. That's what we're kind of building on.
So Ashish, is this a bit of a shift when it comes to the investment strategy from the seed stage startups now to early growth stage startups? And what is the focus going to be? Is it primarily Series B investments?
No, I think you're absolutely right. I won't say a shift. I think it's more like an evolution. And what we're riding on is a bunch of learnings. When we kind of did the previous fund or the previous set of investments, our thinking was to kind of come in at seed, partner in the 0 to 1 journey, and make sure we have some reserve capital available to double down in winners emerging out. Yeah. The biggest realization was, Avan, that winners, especially in the B2B space, especially in the deep technology space, it takes several years for a company to break out. And you could, when you can truly say that they're at an inflection point and things will kind of scale up from that. From a round perspective, that tends to be Series B. So historically, while we've done seed, we've had follow-on capital to kind of come in at pre-A, but we aren't truly backing winners. The breakout happens at Series B. And the idea is to make sure that we have adequate capital to support our founders, at that stage, which is very, very critical for them to kind of go and expand their particular business. Yeah. What it does for us as an investor is we see the 0 to 1 journeys, we see the 1 to 10 journeys, and we can truly partner with founders early stage, and hopefully take a bunch of these companies to a listing stage. Yeah. So we could build the full capability of supporting founders across various stages. So it's definitely an evolution. We want to be at the foremost player when a B2B entrepreneur is kind of thinking of finding investors. We want to be the investors of choice. And entrepreneurs want to make sure that they partner with people who thinking long, who playing the long game. And that's the mindset we bring into the table, to saying, hey, we can support and work alongside strong teams to kind of build companies which will last.
So tell us a little bit more about the check size and how much you're going to deploy in these rounds.
So, 2 strategies, like I said, one is seed. This is something which we've done in the past. Our idea is to lead the seed rounds. And, when we're kind of leading these rounds, our check could be anywhere between 6 to 10 crores. Yeah. The round side could be, 10 to 15 crores, depending on what the opportunity is. But our idea is to take a large share of the round in the making. Yeah. Through that capital infusion, let's say the 8 crores we inject in the business, we could look to take 10 to 15% ownership at seed stage. Yeah. Series B, we're not leading those rounds. Those rounds tend to be far greater than our capital infusion. A high quality Series B round could be 150 to 300 crores. And our idea is to participate with probably 10% of that round in the making, so put maybe 20 crores, 30 crores at that stage of companies. And we're therefore ownership agnostic at that stage. The whole idea is to partner with founders at that stage from where the asset could compound, and we could take them, like I said, public, or to a large outsized return from an investor perspective. And so 6 to 10 crores at seed stage, take a reasonable ownership in those companies. 20 to 30 crores at Series B, and participating in rounds being led by larger investors.
And if you could also take us through some of the investments that have been made. I understand 46 investments since 2012.
No, sure. So, like I said, Avan, been investing now for 12 years. First thing from an investment cycle, one thing which has stood out for us is we're one of the early movers in emerging sectors. So as an example, our first bet in AI, which is a huge thing today in the current scheme of things, was back in 2014, right? So, that was a very early move into, what AI could be, and, we're seeing some signs of that in current times. We invested in drones back in 2016. We invested in space technology back in 2018, robotics around the same time, semiconductors 2020, cybersecurity around the same time. So, the whole idea is to kind of come in early. Yeah. Within this, the bold moves we've taken and, coming ahead of the market, we've seen some reasonable success. One of our early investments was in a company called Locus, building algorithms to make supply chain make logistics more efficient. We were the seed check in that particular company. We exited when they raised the Series C. That was a reasonably good return for us. We got a 41x on the rupee we had invested. We backed a company called Pixel, again, when Avesh and Kshitij, the two founders, were actually in the fourth year of college, right? They were building up the thesis for what Pixel could look like. We got very, very excited about Pixel as a company, as an opportunity. We backed them with a small check at that point of time. And over the years, we supported them at seed. We supported them at pre-seed. We put a decent check from our perspective in Series B. And Pixel is another example. Pixel today, from our perspective, is truly pushing boundaries around space tech, and one of the front movers in this particular category. We invested in a company called PropCap. PropCap is a fintech company, extending supply chain finance, working capital finance to last mile retailers with an anchor-backed strategy. Again, we were the first check. We came in when there was no business, not even a single rupee of loan disbursed. Today, over the years, 5 years, they've done probably 30,000 crores worth of disbursals. Last round was led by Google, Creations Capital, and multiple other people. So, PropCap is another story. We invested in a company called Find, a Bombay-based company which got acquired by Reliance fairly early in the journey. Again, Google was one of the co-investors. They came in after a round. So we've seen good success both in deep technology. We've seen success in enterprise SaaS. We've seen success around tech-enabled B2B plays as well, right? And the idea is to go out and find similar profile companies to a Pixel in a portfolio, or a Signer, which is a robotics company, again doing path-breaking stuff, a Lightspeed, which is a semiconductors company in a portfolio, and find the next disruptive bets as we scale up our current fund.
And what's the long-term strategy?
I'm obviously, we're sitting here, we're raising money, we're deploying money, so we're supremely excited about what the potential of India. I say it a lot to our investor base. I've been around long enough as a professional, and over the last 25, 30 years of my work life, I've always had to sell India. A lot of questions were, is India the right place to invest? Why should we deploy in India compared to what's happening in China, what's happening in the US? today when we can go after our investor pitches, that question is never asked. India is given, right? And there's a lot of work which has happened in the country, outside of what we've done, in the market, in the ecosystem, which has given global investors a lot of confidence about the potential of India. So, we're true believers, and we're absolutely excited. There will be always highs and lows. Markets move around in cycles. So, sometimes markets are tight, sometimes markets are good. But our job is to find out 3 to 4 companies every year and build conviction around them, work with the founders to kind of help them scale. That's the job we have. And I see tremendous opportunity in that particular area. What we're particularly most excited about is, can we find the next SpaceX or the next Google or the next Nvidia coming out of India? Yeah, and I'm personally a believer that that's going to happen over the next 10, 15 years. We'll see some really, really large outcomes out of India, and these will be unique, IP-led deep tech ideas which will kind of take center stage.
All right, thank you so much for joining in. We'll take a very short break. Be right back.